Yo, it's LaserCat 600. Punch-Out speedruns are some of the most notorious runs of all time. Its community is made up of some of the most iconic names and insanely dedicated runners. Punch-Out speedruns have grown in popularity for multiple reasons, but in reality, Punch-Out as a whole has some of the worst speedruns ever. Punch-Out, mainly the first two entries, is a game based on RNG. This is to make each fight random and keep the game feeling fresh or each playthrough. But speedrunners were naturally drawn to the game because of its in-game timer. However, in Super Mario Bros., the speedrun is based mostly on skill and execution, with RNG mixed in with most tricks. However, it is legal to perform RNG manipulation in that game. It is not legal to start Punch-Out on the same frame every time and know what pattern you will get. Almost every punch you throw between the two games is dependent on the opponent performing the correct behavior. For example, right here, Tyson always goes right then left. But then he usually throws a right punch. But then he can either go left or do a move where he goes right, right, left, left. But he might have a delay in between those punches. And all that controlled how long that part of the run will take. However, sometimes skilled runners can notice a difference in the fighter's pattern and react to it and change their strategy. But that is completely impossible when you can't see. Oh my, the things speedrunners do. That's right. One of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out's most notorious categories is blindfolded. As impressive as it is just simply asking to get absolutely blasted by Tyson.
Down with the first left hook he takes. Look at the power already from...
So Punch-Out speedrunning is not like most other popular speedruns like Super Mario 64. Super Mario 64 is quite easily the most popular game to speedrun. But the game does have a good amount of random things. However, most of these things can be manipulated and have been made to be consistent. Therefore, Super Mario 64 has evolved into a game based mostly on execution, meaning that most of the time, if you do everything perfect, there won't be a random delay to ruin our run. This makes Punch-Out one of the most unfair speedruns ever. However, the run is not completely based upon randomness because, specifically the NES game, has insane execution stipulations. What I'm trying to say is that the Tyson record includes over 30 frame-perfect inputs, which are 1/60th of a second button presses, along with tons of other crazy parts. So the game is not all random, but also requires an immense level of skill. All this has really built a community of some of the most dedicated speedrunners out there. So all this being said, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out and Super Punch-Out are some of the most unorthodox and luck-based speedruns of all time. But they are also some of the most precise and execution-heavy speedruns. All of this put together just means that these are some of the most difficult runs, not that they are necessarily bad, but are just abnormal and extremely difficult. Thanks for watching.